Mr. Jaitley, thank you very much. It's great to see you in your campaign territory in Amritsar. You're fighting an election. It's a big risk, isn't it? I mean, the first question is about after 40 years in public life. The general view was you had to fight a Lok Sabha election at some point of time. But is there a sense of apprehension in your own mind about the stakes?
No, stakes are always there in politics. You see, if you have a slightly profit and loss approach, you'll never be able to do politics. I don't do it this way. And I entered politics at a very young age. And I entered at an age where, right till 1999, after having put in some close to 30 years, I had no ambition. I had no ambition of contesting an election. I had no ambition of acquiring a political office. It's only when the second Vajpayee government took over that they wanted me to join the government.
Yes.
And it all started in my case. So I am not in the least apprehensive or bothered. I see myself pretty safe as far as this constituency is concerned. I have my calculations in place.
Was it a point you wanted to prove? A Lok Sabha election?
I didn't want to. The decision is not personal. The decision is of the party. At various areas of the country, in important metropolitan towns, which are nucleus and represent that region, we have important people contesting. Mr. Modi contesting Varanasi, Dr. Joshi contesting Kanpur, Rajnath Singh contesting Lucknow, Sushma Swaraj contesting what is part of Bhopal, Vidisha, Narendra Modi contesting Baroda, Advaniji contesting what's a part of Ahmedabad. These are all important constituencies which our leaders have been contesting. So there was an idea that north of Delhi you must have somebody, and since I am familiar with the language of this region and I have an ancestral connection with the region, the collective decision was if I could come here.
10 years back when I was on the campaign trail with you, remember we were in Bangalore, interviewed you at that point of time. At that point also people were asking about whether Arun Jaitley will eventually fight a Lok Sabha election. You did a lot of campaign management.
You see, I have over the years, both because of the fact that I was a lawyer for a very long period, I was a Rajya Sabha member, acquired what's called a different image. My critics call it a soft image. And they probably thought that I won't contest an election. But when the party said...
You mean critics within your party?
No, a general commentator. I think critics is too harsh a word. And when the party decided and they asked me for my choice, I said, whatever the party decides, I'll honor that decision.
So it's a point you're proving.
It's not a point. You see, if you are a part of a collective decision making in a party, you take decisions whichever come your way.
Mr. Jaitley, let's take up some hard issues now. You are at a macro national level. Viewers watching you right now, the party is fighting an election. It appears the party has made a few mistakes and the campaign has got muddied. I want to pick up several issues with you. My first question is about the statements that have come from leaders of the BJP, the Sangh Parivar and others. Mr. Jaitley, we are talking at a time when members of the Sangh Parivar and the party affiliated organizations have caused great embarrassment.
Can I tell you something?
To the BJP. Just allow me to complete. Both you and Mr. Modi, you wrote a blog, Mr. Modi put out a tweet, you disapproved of their remarks. But will a mere disapproval suffice?
See, let me tell you, every election sets its own agenda. This election is essentially about governance issues. The governance issues have created two impacts. One, a strong anti-incumbency against the Congress. Secondly, there is a hope in Mr. Modi and the BJP that he leads. Now, we have to confine ourselves on those issues. Now, if some wise men decide to alter the agenda, it certainly hurts us, it doesn't suit us.
It's deliberate?
I would not say that. You see, frankly, it would be unfair for me to impute a motive. People have been, a lot of our cadres, and I can tell you this is one of the problems, have been trained with an agitational approach. So to make some statements which is a part of the larger agitational approach forms a part of their style. Now today there is a different situation. We have reduced this campaign to a situation where Mr. Modi and mainstream BJP is seen talking of governance, seen as the natural parties are seen talking of as a natural party of governance. The Congress or the Gandhis, on the contrary, have forgotten what the party has done. They've forgotten the government. They are on this Modi agitational approach.
They accuse you of going Vadra.
No. I'll come to Vadra a little separately. Therefore, BJP must and should only come out at this stage as a natural party of governance and talk of those governance issues.
Agreed.
It's suiting us.
Agreed.
Now, if somebody has deviated from the agenda, it's important that rather than condone it, we flag the issue and point it out.
No,
and this is the party.
I will not even pick up on the issue of Amit Shah's revenge remark, because I know that you will say that revenge was meant in a slightly different context.
Obviously
it's been misinterpreted by the media. But the other comment which he made a day later, by voting for Modi, he says on April 5th, you will do two things. You will bring Modi in the center and you will uproot Mullah Mulayam from Lucknow. Now, Mr. Amit Shah is an experienced person. He's run many campaigns. He knows the complete import of using the prefix Mullah before Mulayam. Why did he do that?
May I say this? Everybody has his own style of addressing. I would urge all, including Amit, of whom I have a very high opinion I am very fond of, that the use of this phrase at this stage, the focus is on us, the floodlights are on us, and therefore every word we utter has to be seen, has to be with a sense of responsibility. I think it could be faltering, and therefore it should have been avoided.
But Mr. Jaitley, again, you and Mr. Modi, you say that you name well-wishers. You wrote of well-wishers in your blog. Mr. Jaitley also, Mr. Modi said something similar in his tweet, almost as if you were speaking the same language. But this is a generic statement of disapproval from the Bharatiya Janata Party, which wants to push the development agenda, especially from leaders like you. A stronger naming of leaders was required. Mr.
We are not wanting a civil war within the party. We don't want conflicts and deflect the agenda. Therefore, if somebody does deviate from the agenda, a polite reminder to him, and he corrects himself. That's how parties are run. Parties are not run with a whip in your hand.
So what about your allies? When Ramdas Kadam, and you may have heard of this, of the Shiv Sena stands in a rally at the Bandra Kurla complex.
His party pulled him up. The Shiv Sena pulled it up.
The
and
BJP didn't?
No, but he's a Shiv Sena member, and therefore the Shiv Sena immediately reacted and said these kind of statements should not be made. So, I think they did a fair thing.
So why is this religious stereotyping happening?
As I've told you, in a large campaign where thousands and thousands of speakers are involved all over the country, these kind of statements are a drop in the ocean. They embarrass us. They don't help us. They hurt us. Therefore, we have to politely tell these people, please don't do it. And therefore, if they come on track, we don't want to escalate the crisis any further.
One more point on that. You have been known, and I've followed your political career, you are a tough disciplinarian when it is required. You are one of the people who supported Uma Bharti and were instrumental in her rise to becoming Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Yet, when the time came to actually be tough on Uma Bharti, you were among the leaders who was tough on her as well. She's back in the party, but regardless, that reflected a certain attitude of yours. Mr. Jaitley, why are you, I don't understand why you're using words such as we ask our well-wishers to exercise restraint, kindly refrain from making these comments. You're a top leader. You should be instructing these leaders not to talk like this, not politely requesting them.
We are speaking and not frankly speaking when we deal with our own party people.
Why?
So everybody can't follow your style. We have to follow our style. Therefore, polite reminder, and people realize what they are supposed to say. After all, hasn't Giriraj Singh or Kadam for that matter or Uma Bharati restrained themselves from this? In fact,
Giriraj Singh is on the run. Uma Bharti has expressed said nothing to the effect that
I'll tell you
myself.
Giriraj should never have made a comment of this kind, because there is no place, and I am glad Mr. Modi openly said that there is no place for such a remark. You can vote against Mr. Modi and you can still be a very patriotic Indian, as far as I am concerned.
Okay. My second point to you is on personal attacks and the whole issue of Robert Vadra. Now, you have amplified your attack on Vadra. I don't understand, Mr. Jaitley, can you please tell me why you have changed Priyanka Gandhi's, the way you refer to Priyanka Gandhi? There are two blogs of yours on April 14th in your campaign diary, by the way, which you now have become popular for. You put out a campaign diary, April 14th, you say, Priyanka Gandhi has agreed to contest the Varanasi seat. On April 23rd, it becomes Priyanka Vadra.
But that's how the media...
Priyanka Vadra should not be politics.
Well,
That's not media.
I have no method in it. The media alternatively refers to her as a Gandhi or a Vadra. As far as I am concerned, it makes no difference. I would not like to show any personal disapproval or anything which is discourteous to refer to somebody as...
So why are you targeting her on Robert?
No, I'm not personal. Let's be very clear. She made a statement saying that it hurts me when my husband is attacked.
Yes.
It hurts my children.
Yes.
I politely reminded her that I agree with you that personal attacks should be avoided. Corruption is not a personal matter, it's a public issue. But then, is your party and your family willing to listen to you? Your brother took up the issue of snoopgate and brought it. He took up the issue of Mr. Modi's marriage. Her mother took up the issue of calling Modi a maut ka saudagar.
What's wrong with that? Why should there be a moratorium on political attacks by the opposition leaders?
Well, what applies for the goose applies for the gander. Therefore, there should not be a moratorium. If somebody has made money in an extraordinary manner, why should there be a moratorium on that?
But does Mr. Narendra Modi speak up on the allegations against him? He speaks of creating, for example, fast-track courts to try politicians. But so far, he has not spoken at length on Babubhai Bokharia, who was convicted for illegal mining, or for that matter, Purushottam Solanki, who faces a CBI.
Let's be very clear. If I read in the newspapers while I was in the campaign, one of these gentlemen has been completely acquitted by the Supreme Court.
Did he, while this controversy was on all this while, mention or speak about them? And what about one gentleman, but the other gentleman still faces CBI?
I'll just tell you. He faces a probe. Probe doesn't mean that he is guilty. Therefore, the gentleman who you said was convicted, if his conviction is set aside or completely stayed by the Supreme Court to say that he is innocent now, of course, how can you hold it against him?
But then the Congress party says that has the BJP forgotten the fact that a petition on the case of Robert Vadra was dismissed with very strong comments by the Supreme Court and the High Court?
Did the Supreme Court say that the money has been made the rightful way? Did the Supreme Court say it's legitimate? They said don't bring these kind of political issues to us. Tomorrow, if the tax department or somebody finds anything which is foul, I'm not saying they will find or they should find, but they must be allowed to do their job. Then is it not a political issue? You see, let me express what my apprehension was. On a nil investment, you start a business. The world is willing to oblige you. Suddenly you get all kinds of largesse. You return the loans which you have taken.
Right.
And within a matter of months, you come out with a bonanza. Now, this model of doing business by somebody who's politically connected, and I refer to investors investing in what is called a political equity, is somewhat extraordinary. Now, I reminded Mrs. Gandhi, the younger Mrs. Gandhi, Priyanka, that if you are saying personal attacks should be avoided, then nobody should really mention this. Then you be bold enough to say, what my party is doing, my brother is doing, or my mother is doing, I don't approve of it. So the Gandhis can't have a state that when I am attacked, I and my children feel very touched because my husband is being attacked, but we have a right to talk about Modi. Have you seen the kind of language Anand Sharma, Manish Tiwari, Kapil Sibal, P. Chidambaram
your party has
use about
very kind
Mr. Modi?
No, but Mr. Jaitley, your party has not been very kind either. You have used all kinds of words. For example, let me ask you. You have, in your own blogs, Mr. Jaitley, you have referred to Sonia Gandhi's foreign origin in response to Amritsar Singh calling you an outsider. Then you have mocked her televised appeal by using this "Main nahi mom" bar, "Main nahi mom," which was.
Have we lost our sense of humor or not? Let me just stop you at both these. Rahul Gandhi led the campaign and with a slogan called "Main nahi hum," and then suddenly all of you did programs that this sudden appeal, the son goes into the background and the mother is told it's your appeal that will work. Therefore, I punned on that slogan and said, "Main nahi hum."
So you're saying that was...
I think even in the intensity of a political campaign, there is some space for humor, and therefore, I thought the comment was received quite well. No, but now let's come to. I didn't refer to her foreign origins. My parents, my mother happens to belong to this town where we are sitting right now, Amritsar. My father belongs to this region. Amrinder Singh doesn't belong to this region. He suddenly starts calling me an outsider. I have 100% Maja blood in my veins. He doesn't. So I told him it's irrelevant. To drive home the point that this is a bogus argument, I said if I don't belong to Punjab because he had called me a pseudo Punjabi, will you tell me to which state does Mrs. Sonia Gandhi belong? To which he said it's unfair to question this. The answer is when senior national leaders contest from a given state, Banaras or Amethi or Raebareli or Gandhinagar or Vidisha, these questions are relatively secondary.
What about the questions of Sonia Gandhi's illness? Narendra Modi said about Sonia Gandhi's illness in November 2013, "Agar Madam bimar hai to bacche ko kaam do. If Madam Sonia Gandhi is ill, hand over the work to her child Rahul Gandhi."
Well, I think
it's fair to bring in issues of Sonia Gandhi's illness.
It's not fair to bring in, and I must tell you, at a time when she went for an initial treatment, both Mrs. Sushma Swaraj and I had a press conference where we were asked about her illness. We refused to discuss it, and on the side we pay for her good health. And that's how the country should receive it. I'm glad nobody, not even the Indian media or the politicians, have made much of an issue.
So that was a mistake for Narendra Modi to pick up.
Let me tell you, it's not, everything is not white or black. There is a way of public speaking or diction. Therefore, everything is not to be approved or disapproved. By and large, the approach of all, including the BJP, has been that as far as illness is concerned, we never make an issue out of it.
Tell me about the arrangement that you have had with the Congress
There was
party.
no arrangement.
Not to attack each other.
No, there was categorically no arrangement.
You won't question Vadra? And they won't
I have personally raised the issue of Vadra.
After the
I have even raised it in the past. I have commented on it in interviews whenever I have been asked.
They don't question Ranjan Bhattacharya in turn?
Well, if there is an allegation, please question Ranjan Bhattacharya.
They've not picked up the Adani issue as aggressively as they've done now.
What is the Adani issue? I'd like to understand. A businessman does well. For the last 20-30 years, you suddenly invent an Adani because you have nothing else against the BJP and Narendra Modi. Does the BJP have anything to do with Mr. Adani? Mr. Adani has the best friends in the NCP and the Congress as far as I am concerned.
You expect people to believe, Mr. Jaitley, that you've not picked up the Vadra issue as a response to Rahul Gandhi's picking up the issue of Mr. Narendra Modi's marriage?
No, Arnab, I have never.
Is there not a link between these two?
No, there is a link. There is a link, and let me explain to you the link. I have, as a rule, never spoken on persons. I speak on issues. I have breached that rule twice myself. The first I breached it when Rahul Gandhi took up the issue of the so-called child marriage of Mr. Modi. I reminded him that this is a legitimate child marriage, which is on paper. He's disclosed the truth. If you want to go this far about legally valid relationships which may not have been acted upon.
Why do you say go so far?
How is it an issue? How is it an issue?
Kapil Sibal says it's a technical issue. We are raising it technically.
No, it's not a technical. Let Mr. Kapil Sibal also remember, and Mr. Kapil Sibal himself remember. And that is what I reminded everybody. There are a large number of people in public life, in the Congress party, who have relationships which are not legitimate. Have we ever questioned them?
How is that an issue? Now that's a threat.
See, no, it was a threat. Yes, you are right, Arnab, you've got it right. It was a threat. And the threat was, if you try and make a legitimate relationship not acted upon into an issue, then other relationships, I didn't name anybody, can also be made an issue. And I'm glad the Congress party responded to them. Some wiser sense prevailed and said, we drop the issue. That's when they dropped the issue. Otherwise, if you go into a situation where legitimate and illegitimate relationships, personal lives become issues, Indian politics will be a mess. Congress started it. They had to be given a rap on the knuckles. They had to be reminded that they have too many skeletons in their cupboard.
Why do you call it skeletons in the cupboard?
Well, if all the disclosures come out, it won't be a very pleasant thing for them also.
What kind of disclosures?
Well, why should I name them? When I didn't name them in my blog, I'm not going to name them before you. You know what I'm talking about and they know what I'm talking about. So I had to remind them. When you said threat, it was a veiled, threat is not the right word, a reminder. Not a polite reminder, but a firm reminder, let's not go on this track. And the Congress party had to stop. I am responsible for the creation of this slogan and the campaign, along with some of my colleagues, and I take full responsibility for it.
Sushma Swaraj doesn't agree with it.
She hasn't said so. She's a part of the campaign
That's
committee.
the general belief, knowledge.
Well, these are rumors which you would like to spread. The campaign lines have been decided by both of us collectively.
Why are you threatening the Congress party right now with all this talk of the accountability commission? You know, Mr. Modi says 20 days from now, let me come to power. You know, we are going to fix everything. The BJP leaders talking
The accountability commission is not going to be for the Congress party. It's going to be for everybody in the...
Entirely going to be aimed at the Congress party?
No, it's going to be for everybody in government. Tomorrow, if we come into government, it's going to be against us also. After all, accountability commission is not party specific. It is issue specific.
Vajpayee didn't have an accountability commission.
Well, if India...
You were a cabinet minister in his government.
Well, you may need an accountability commission or a Lokpal, whichever way you call it. These are institutions which have been debated in India for a long time. There are states which have an accountability commission in India. And therefore, let us not believe that it's only a Congress party centric thing that we are trying to think of.
Has too much bitterness seeped into this campaign, Mr. Jaitley? We've seen Lok Sabha elections almost as if this time we come to power, we'll fix the other side, you come to power.
In fact, our campaign has had no bitterness because we've tried to confine our campaign to governance issues.
I think you've had a very bitter campaign with Amrinder Singh. The most bitter campaign possible. Each of you, especially you through your blogs and he through his comments, trading barbs and allegations, which if I may say so, Mr. Jaitley, has nothing to do
with
issues of your constituency or the national agenda.
Well, let me tell you, he every day issues a press statement and makes a statement which is rude, which is discourteous, which is impolite. He uses that kind of language. In the initial stages, I ignored it. And finally, I started answering it with some element of sarcasm and humor. I have gone only as far. I have not tried not to be discourteous. I have certainly tried to inject some sarcasm and humor into it, which I think is a legitimate thing in politics.
Having been caught lying with a straight face on the property tax and the Jagdish Thakur issue, any other candidate would have been put to shame before the people, writes Arun Jaitley in his famous blog. But this emperor, even when caught without clothes, has the ability to look at you in the eye. The blog is titled The Emperor's New Clothes. That's sarcastic, it's well enough. But
well, I thought you will compliment me for that humor because calling Amrinder an emperor, and when he's caught lying, an emperor without clothes.
How is the issue of Amrinder's property tax relevant to this?
So it's not Amrinder's property tax. The question was who levied property tax on the people of Amritsar. There was a writing by Amrinder before he relinquished charge as Chief Minister. He was blaming Mr. Badal for it. I produced the writing, the signatures of Amrinder Singh. So I said, you did it. And when he started denying his signature, I had to produce it in the public domain.
Why is Amrinder fighting this election against you? Why has the Congress party fielded Amrinder Singh against you? When you picked up the Amritsar challenge, Mr. Jaitley, you were not prepared to have Amrinder Singh as your...
Well, I obviously knew there would be a Congress candidate. The Congress doesn't exactly love me. So they are going to put up somebody formidable against me. And I am prepared for that kind of a challenge.
But you were not prepared for Amrinder Singh when you came?
Well, I am not interested who they would have put up. They would have put up somebody strong. They put up Amrinder Singh. I'll face the challenge.
Mr. Jaitley, in the BJP's campaign, and I want to come to the issue of Mr. Modi, the BJP.
And let me tell you, as far as the Amrinder and my this thing is concerned.
Who you call Maharaja Sahab, Dabang?
No, he calls himself Dabang in a public meeting. So the fact is that if you read each one of my blogs in it, you probably will have a laugh. That's what people have been doing. So I think that's legitimate humor. Otherwise, if I didn't do it, the election will be an extremely boring thing.
Everyone except Amrinder Singh will have a laugh at it. Mr. Jaitley.
I wish he could laugh. The ability to laugh at yourself must be there in politicians.
When was the last time you met him?
Well, I met him when he was compelled to go for a morning walk. I'm a regular walker. And he came for a morning walk to the company garden in Amritsar and we met each other. That's the only time we met in the course of campaign.
What did you say to each other?
Of course, we exchanged pleasantries. It was very courteous and so on. I wished him good health and I told him that I am a regular walker. He said, I am not. So I said, look after your health. He said, yeah, we'll all get over with it. It was a very pleasant conversation.
Mr. Jaitley, in the BJP's campaign, it is evident to me that the image, that the image of Mr. Narendra Modi has totally and completely, almost effortlessly at this stage, subsumed that of the party.
There is no...
And this election therefore seemed to be more about Mr. Modi than the BJP. You may deny it, but it's evident all over. Did you play the gamble too hard? I mean, has the party therefore become Modi and Modi become the party in a sense?
The campaign is of a Modi-led BJP. The 1998 and 99 campaign was of a Vajpayee-led BJP. So every time you have a leader with that kind of popularity, you take advantage of his popularity.
Yeah, but in the radio spots, Mr. Modi says, "Meri appeal hai ki har gali se aapka vote seedhe mujhe milega." The vote will reach me, not reach the BJP.
Well, in the Vajpayee election campaign, forget radio spots. We had Mr. Vajpayee in his telephonic conversation with people, speaking to them and asking for a vote for himself.
Did Mr. Vajpayee say that God has chosen me, or did Vajpayee say vote for the BJP?
No, God, you see, these are statements of humility that God has asked me.
It's a statement of humility in your view? I believe God has chosen me for this work. Now I only
you see, there are people who believe in destiny, there are people who believe in religiosity, there are people who don't believe.
What about the destiny of the BJP?
Well, the BJP will be very strong. If the BJP comes very close to power and with its allies gets an absolute majority, the destiny of the BJP is going to be great.
But isn't it strange that your party always talked and spoke against too much of a personality-driven leadership?
You see, having a powerful leader and a personality cult are entirely different.
No, it's
the
not.
Systems in the BJP will still remain the same.
No, it's not, Mr. Jaitley. Fact remains, Congress has been a more collective campaign in line with what you mock their "Main Nahi Hum" slogan. And now Sonia joins the fray, Priyanka joins the fray, Rahul is there. Your entire personality-driven campaign focused on one individual. Now, Mr. Jaitley, please tell me, when you were deciding to make Narendra Modi campaign committee chief, did you bargain for this? Or did you bargain for Narendra Modi leading the BJP campaign, or did you bargain for Modi leading the Modi
campaign?
Can
I suggest this?
Yes.
The basic work for this campaign has not been done by Mr. Modi. There is a campaign management committee for publicity which decided all this, which comprises of 4 or 5 people, predominant amongst them being Sushma Swaraj and myself, Amit Shah.
We haven't seen Sushma Swaraj.
Well, she's busy in her constituency, I'm busy in my constituency.
She's so busy that she's not even visible.
No, after her campaign is over yesterday, her voting is over yesterday in Vidisha, now she'll be travelling across the country, why not?
Where's the visibility of Sushma Swaraj?
The visibility will come because she's been in Vidisha. I am in Amritsar. Advaniji is in Gandhi-Vadra.
That's not the only reason, because even when, let me take the example of Rajnath Singh. When one Twitter ad was put out saying Ab ki baar BJP Sarkar, it was immediately changed back to Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar, almost as if
Can I tell you, this is not motivated by any personality cult considerations. Anybody involved with marketing or political marketing will tell you, you look at the market ratings. I did look at the market ratings.
What are market ratings?
You see, the acceptability in a poll. What is BJP's poll percentage? What is Modi's acceptability? What is BJP's poll percentage? What is Vajpayee's acceptability? What is BJP's? Well, not only with Modi or Mr. Vajpayee, we've tried this with Vasundhara Raje, we've tried this with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. I personally tried this and experimented this in the 2 campaigns for Bihar in relation to Nitish Kumar that we ran. When the leader's popularity is higher than the campaign popularity, you take advantage of the leader's popularity.
The gap may keep growing. In the idea of a political party should be to reduce that
This
gap.
is not the first time this has happened. This is not the last time it is happening. In states where chief ministers' popularities are much higher than the parties, you project the personality of the chief minister to make sure that the party gets an advantage.
So Lalji Tandon says, I will only vacate the seat for Modi. Is that a good thing?
No, he did a very good thing by vacating it for Rajnath Singh.
Yeah, but when he says...
I'll tell you, you see, these are a drop in the ocean statements. These are not statements which are intended to influence the whole campaign. Lalji Tandon is an extremely disciplined man, and once he was told the party president has to contest Lucknow, he vacated his seat. He's proposed his name.
Are you justifying this too hard? Do you actually believe in it? Mr. Jaitley, ask yourself today, as a BJP leader...
As a campaign strategy, I am a privy to this. I am responsible for the creation of this slogan and the campaign, along with some of my colleagues, and I take full responsibility for it.
Sushma Swaraj doesn't agree with you?
She hasn't said so. She's a part of the campaign committee.
That's the general belief, knowledge.
Well, these are rumors which you'd like to spread. The campaign lines have been decided by both of us collectively.
How many times have you heard her say, Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar?
Dekhiye, she is busy in her constituency.
Do you know the difference it would make if she were to say it once? If she were to say it once or twice?
Hasn't she endorsed Narendra Modi publicly as the BJP's prime ministerial candidate on more than one occasion?
She wasn't there on the stage in the evening after he was announced. You were there. She wasn't. She took the
No,
flight.
but you see, she was going for a flight. She left the meeting early. Hasn't she made innumerable public speeches where she said, we contest this election under the leadership of Mr. Modi. Dr. Joshi has said so. Advaniji has said so repeatedly. Sushma Swaraj has said so. Now, within the party, before the nomination is decided, everybody is entitled to his views. I think she did an excellent thing. She expressed her view, the party took a decision, she immediately accepted it.
Mr. Jaitley, is there a problem between you and Sushma Swaraj?
Well, that's a 5-year-old news. Now, last 5 years, or a large part of the last 5 years, both of us have functioned together as leaders in the respective houses. And I can tell you, contrary to public perception, on most issues, I would say on 9 out of 10 issues, her views and my views used to overlap.
And then when
Parliament was in session, when we had to coordinate, she and I would be together on a one-to-one basis at least 5 times a day. Minute to minute, what went on in each house, we used to coordinate with each other. Now, we are two different people, we may have a different style, but as I've said, on most issues, and this is a fact that she is always at pains to repeat, that Arun's views and my views are always the same, and yet there is a perception that we disagree on this or disagree on that.
On critical issues you have, and I asked this question to Rajnath Singh about 3 weeks back, Mr. Jaitley, and asked him, why is there a situation where Sushma Swaraj has to express the fact she does not agree with critical decisions of the party? Like Sri Ramalu on Twitter, on a public forum outside, he said, I'll tell
you the reason. And
that's unfortunate.
Can I say this in defense of her? She got unnecessarily and unfairly dragged into this Bellary controversy. Because she contested once from Bellary, people thought they can identify her with anything, any wrongdoing somebody was doing. Therefore, she's extra cautious about it. If I had such a baseless charges being made against me, maybe I would have also got cautious. Therefore, she said, I don't want the blame for these kind of things to come back on me again. I haven't done anything improper. And frankly, in the meeting when she said this, when we took a collective decision, she agreed to it and expressed a contrarian opinion. She also wanted her right to state this publicly. She wanted this as a right, and she said this in the meeting. And I thought there is nothing wrong in it, because she'd got an unnecessary unfair flag for it. She wanted to clear herself. What's wrong in that?
Can I be completely candid and ask you the next question, Mr. Jaitley? Fact is that the general perception is, I wanted to ask you this for a long time, that see, at one level all of you have many decades now public life behind you. You're fighting your first Lok Sabha election, but you have at least, I think, about 4 decades now behind you. So you're all contemporaries in a certain way. There is a growing feeling that if Modi were to be Prime Minister, that Mr. Jaitley would be one of the preeminent personalities in that cabinet. But Ms. Sushma Swaraj would find it difficult to come into that arrangement, work under Mr. Modi, or fit into that arrangement.
No question of that.
And therefore there is a bit of professional rivalry.
She is a very, very senior person in the party. She has a great utility, and any system, she is going to be an integral key person part of it.
She'll work under Mr. Modi.
I'm sure she will. She's agreed to support his candidature as Prime Minister once the party has decided this.
Don't you believe the BJP has been far too arrogant with parties who could be potential allies in the future?
You see, we would have loved to have alliances. And alliances with various parties which have been traditionally non-Congress.
Now I want to come into this election and what this election means to you. As I began by saying, this is the first parliamentary election that you are fighting. Why didn't you choose a safer seat? I mean, why? Mr. Jaitley, please don't look upon me with so much incredulity. This is a seat which, if I am not mistaken, BJP won with some 7,000 votes in 2009.
Between 2009 and 2014, there is a world of difference in the political environment of the country.
You could have asked for a safe seat.
In 2009, we won only 10 seats in UP. Today, we'll win probably 5 to 6.
You're not answering my question. You could have chosen a safer seat if you want.
You see, if the party decides on a particular seat and you are convinced that you are going to win that seat, why must you say no?
What will be?
I had 2 natural seats in this country, either Delhi or Amritsar. And the party decided Amritsar, so I agreed to Amritsar.
In 2004, if you remember, when I was on the campaign trail with you, and we spent a day in Bangalore where you were fighting, all issues with the JDU, JDS, bring parties together. At the end of that day, I asked you a question which was shot on the roof of that hotel, where I asked you, Mr. Jaitley, many people see you as a Prime Minister, and many people have seen qualities in you, which the profile, the manner, the sagacity, and perhaps your maturity, which They see that this man can possibly have a greater role nationally. What role will you play in the next government if it were to be a Modi government? People say finance minister, the controversy came up about deputy prime minister. If Narendra Modi is prime minister, where do you see yourself? And please, Mr. Jaitley, for once,
I can tell you.
Don't be as diplomatic with me today as you were 10 years back.
You see, I've trained in two ways. One is a political worker. So as a political worker, you do what you are told to, if you are disciplined. I'm also trained as a lawyer. You argue whichever brief which comes your way.
Are you going to answer that question as a politician?
Therefore, whatever responsibility is given to me, I have no special agendas, whether it's in the party or in the government. I'll continue to discharge that.
Where do you see yourself, Mr. Jaitley? What about your own ambitions?
Well, I must tell you,
you are a very ambitious lawyer, weren't you?
Today I have only one ambition at the moment, and I'm not seeing beyond that. And that one ambition is that the Congress must be voted out of power. Our government must be installed. And I think this is Mr. Modi's election. He's legitimately entitled to be the Prime Minister.
I know you speak of the number 272, but with the election becoming shrill, with Modi taking on the allies more and more directly, with your quarrel with Jayalalitha, the uncomfortable relationship with Mayawati and an increasingly hostile relationship with Mamata Banerjee, should you fall short of the numbers, how will you change the line?
I don't see that situation coming. B, politically and arithmetically, nobody, and underline the word nobody, other than the NDA can form a government. Whether we get 250 or 275 or 300, we are within a majority or a handshaking distance of majority. Somebody with 75 won't be able to form a government.
And what if they get to 120 or 130?
I don't see that possibility emerging. Congress will reach the lowest ever figure in history.
Mr. Jaitley, you say you'll get 272. But one should never be presumptuous. In 2004, you were very confident with the India Shining campaign. The results shocked you. Don't you believe the BJP has been far too arrogant with parties who could be potential allies in the future?
You see, we would have loved to have alliances. And alliances with various parties which have been traditionally non-Congress. It's those parties which were not keen. So we weren't arrogant. It was the other way around. We wanted to expand in newer areas. We wanted to expand in Tamil Nadu. We wanted to expand in Orissa. We've even had alliances with the smallest of parties. Now, our strategy is the following, and that's my personal view. We need for federal politics in India to get together a large number of non-Congress parties, as large as possible. Even parties who can't have an alliance with us and who are in the non-Congress bracket and running state governments, we intend to be extremely fair with them in dealing with them. I would personally go for a situation where even if we get a majority, there should be a possibility of expanding the NDA even after elections.
But you've closed that option now.
I don't think we've closed that option.
Let's take the case of Tamil Nadu. You say we want to grow. Grow on the basis of what, Mr. Jaitley? In Tamil Nadu, A, you have no party organization. B, you have no local leader. C, you have no vote share. You get some 2% of the vote.
That's history. That's history. This time, every poll has shown us from a minimum 9 up to 17% polls. In states where you go in for alliances, now this small alliance, this Rainbow Coalition alliance that we formed in Tamil Nadu with PMK, MDMK, DMDK.
How many seats is it going to win?
Let's wait for a figure. Tamil Nadu and Orissa are going to spring a surprise even for the BJP. We are going to have a significant representation.
On the basis of what? The Modi factor.
Vote percentage. The Modi factor and the BJP organizational strength, allies in Tamil Nadu and our own vote. Now in Orissa, it is widely believed that we may be a close number 2 even in popular vote to Biju Janata Dal.
The reason it will be very difficult to do that, Mr. Jaitley, is going to be because of this very hardline Hindutva image of the BJP, which under Modi, your party has been unable to shed.
Well, no, I don't accept that. If Modi talks of governance, then the criticism is, why is he shedding the Hindutva image? Is he reinventing himself? We have decided, irrespective of what comments and criticisms are made, the agenda today is governance and we are going to stick to it.
But why does Mr. Modi pick up issues deliberately himself which are aimed at polarizing the audience? Why does he do that?
Which is the issue that he's taken which is polarized?
Well, for example, the issue where he says that the skull cap is a symbol of minority appeasement.
No,
now, what was the need for him to say the skull cap is a symbol of minority appeasement? Well, he
said it because one of you asked him a question. An interviewer for ANI asked him a question, and he simply answered that this is symbolism. I deal with minorities as I would deal with any other citizen of India. I don't subscribe to symbolism.
He didn't say that. He didn't say symbolism.
That's a substance.
Symbol of minority appeasement.
No, that's a substance of what he has said. And the substance of what he did was, I'll deal with you as though you are an Indian like any other member of the majority community. I'm not going to go in by just symbolic gestures.
So Rajnath Singh does symbolic gestures when he goes...
I must tell you, these are individual choices. Whether I choose to wear a janehu or a tilak or a skull cap or whatever, some people do it in a very easy style, some people don't do it.
Have you ever worn a skull cap?
Well, if it was offered to me, I'll consider it. You see, you go to festivals of various communities, they dress you up in their manner.
But doesn't that reveal something, Mr. Jaitley?
No, it doesn't.
That Rajnath Singh and Arun Jaitley, L.K. Advani, Atal Bihari Vajpayee have had no problems with wearing the skull cap, but Mr. Modi describes it as a symbol of minority.
Well, Mr. Modi is a different person. Now, Mr. Modi will a skull cap, you would have said, look, this man is trying to change an image.
No, you're being presumptuous when you say that. Why would people say that?
Well, I know, because Mr. Modi, people react. Arun Jaitley in a skull cap and Modi in a skull cap, the media would react differently.
You're blaming the media for that?
No, I'm not blaming, I'm analyzing the media because I know Indian media. Therefore, rather than get into an unnecessary controversy, he's taken a position that I don't believe in symbolism.
Okay, now let me analyze the politics and the politicians, because having been a journalist, I also have a limited understanding of politics.
You are entitled to.
Therefore, my view, besides the politicians writing very good blogs these days, my view, Mr. Jaitley, is that your allies and potential allies, for them, Mr. Modi, and hence because Mr. Modi is the BJP and BJP is Modi, would have found the BJP and Mr. Modi far more acceptable, and Mamata Banerjee would not think that if I were to tie up with Mr. Modi, then I would lose out on the considerable minority vote in Bengal. Mayawati wouldn't think so, and therefore that one whole, what you call prejudice, what some other people would call stigma against the party would go away. Why would you not do that? Why would you not become a more acceptable party?
Can I give you an alternative political analysis to this? My analysis was entirely to the contrary. My personal analysis was a strong BJP with 200 plus will get allies. A 150, 170 BJP may not get allies. So far it's proved to be correct. And once you get allies and you are a strong BJP, then concentrate on issues of governance. And even critics and those who have apprehensions will realize that this man means business.
The apprehensions are not on economics or development. The apprehensions are on inclusiveness, and therefore, Mr. Jaitley, as we are nearing the end of
when you concentrate only on governance and not on any other issue relating to religion or identity, I'm sure everybody will get a clear message.
And how much of the remote control, if and when you come to power, will be from Nagpur? Instructions from Nagpur?
Well, I think it's a fact which is being overstated.
You really think so?
It's being overstated. I've been in the BJP and I have not seen this kind of a remote control. And I can tell you, Mr. Modi can be criticized for 100 things, but not for being controlled by somebody.
Including the RSS?
Including anyone.
Well, Mr. Jaitley, thank you very much for talking to me. Thank you very, very much.